All right, real quick, be a short video, how I hooked up and how you can hook up the coolant temp sensor for your OBS LS swap. I'm not sure what the sensors are like on the 88 through 95s, the TBIs. I'm sure it's similar. You probably do make it work, but this is for 96 and up, for my 98 and my 99. My 98, I use the LS3 wire. I cover that in a different video. I've left links and everything. That reads a little bit low. It's not super accurate, so I want to try and use the factory OBS gauge to try and get it to read correctly. Two different methods. There we go. You can do, I guess, three. So here's an adapter I bought. That is the LS. It's 12 by 1.5 to the 1/4 inch pipe or something. Whatever that the factory OBS sensor was. This is too short. You can see it bottomed out. And there's that ring. So it bottomed out and it messed the sensor up, so now it reads incorrectly. I ended up taking this out. I'm having it machined, which I'll show you that footage real quick.
They're up a bunch grown up. That'll be good for him.
Going like,
Can you?
What's that? Old Toyota or one of those cars over there?
So that is probably the best way to do it, because you can. There's enough meat on these sensors. This one, I'll show you the second method here in a second. There's enough meat on it that you can take it off and re-thread it to this, so you don't need an adapter. And then the OBS sensor will thread right into the head. I'll show you where I'm putting it. Option 2, if you don't have a lathe or machinist, you can put this in a drill and basically just grind it down. And with a set of calipers, just measure. I measured this, it's like 0.466. Got that down to 0.466. Buy yourself a die. I actually borrowed this handle from a coworker because he already has gear wrench, so I just bought a gear wrench one. So we're going to re-thread this. So here we go. You want to use the aluminum like washer, crush washer thing. If Sensor doesn't have one, I would pick one up. My adapter came with one, so I'll stick it on here, but that should do it. So I want to get this put in the Yukon, show you where I put it in, because the LS ECM, the 411, well, I think all of them, they read coolant temp, but they don't have an output to the gauge. So the driver's side front has its own fitting, its own temp sensor. So I use, the heads are a mirror image, they're the same exact head, but when you flip it around, it's on the passenger side by the firewall. So back there is where I plumb this in. And the 5.3, 6.0s, all that, it's just capped off. They have a plug in it. I guess it's plugged off, not capped off, but we'll go stick this thing in, let it run, and see if it reads accurately now. This is out of the 350 that came in the 99 Yukon, now has a 5.3. See how it works. Sorry for the wind noise, but back here is you can see the other fitting just barely. So I'm gonna get that one out. If you leave the radiator cap on, there'll be enough suction, vacuum, seal, whatever on the block. There's some coolant will come out, just change it out real fast. Yeah, you probably won't lose very much. So a couple things worth mentioning. That sensor is mercury filled, so be careful. Don't puncture that thing because then you have mercury going everywhere. Secondly, do this at your own risk. Don't take my advice. I'm just showing you how I do it. And third, the 5.3 has 2 coolant temp sensors. I believe the one you need is on the driver's side head. They also have one up here by like the thermostat or something. I think that is what goes to the computer, and then the one over there goes to the gauge, so that's the one you need. And I just shorten the wire. It's just one wire, just grounds it. This is not a ground. The mercury, as it gets hotter, it gives it more and more of a ground. That's how your gauge works, something like that. So you really just need one. I just need to finish tightening it down, and then we'll fire it up and see what happens. So it's been running for about 5 minutes and looks like it's working. So now every gauge works just like it should from the factory. Before it would kind of like max out and it would go like all the way to hot, and it was a check gauges, but you can go back and watch a couple of other videos. I think it's because the sensor itself was messed up, because like I said, it bottomed out in that adapter. And yeah, now we're all good. So I'm guessing that the 88 through 95 is probably the same. I'm not going to say it is because I've never done it. I don't know how much of extra material is on those sensors. I know there's enough on the 350 Vortex to do this. It just kind of takes a little bit of time doing it yourself with the drill. Like I said, put the end of it in a drill so it can spin. Use a file or something aggressive to take it down. Don't go down too far. And then tap it, or not tap it, I guess die it, use a die, thread it. Yeah, that's it.